911 assist is not operational. Please visit your dealer for service.
Okay. And now it's time for the fun part. It's actually, I'm glad this is a convertible because I have all this room to work with. I'm 6'4", and you know, I can basically stand up in here and do what I gotta do. But I'm a little worried I might have to remove the doors also, because two of the bolts on each side that hold the dash, they're like 8 inches long and they go all the way through the car. So if there's not enough room to pull this bolt far enough back, I'm gonna have to remove the door just to get the bolts out so I can slide the dash back and get it out of the car. But other than that, it's just a bunch of little screws and bolts and clips, and but it has to be done, so let's get to work. I also decided to do this job outside to give me more light, and it's a couple days before Christmas and we got 65-degree weather, which is perfect. So if you think you can pull the dash out of a Mustang before dark, you're lying to yourself and others, because there's just so many bolts and screws and clips. And look at this. This is just from this side, and then about the same on the other side. And then there's a bunch of connectors. So if you think you could do it in a couple hours, don't even try it. Alright, so I got the dash out of the Mustang, and all I gotta do is take everything off of this one, the original one, and put it onto this one. And there's a few differences. Like this one was, I guess, a base model, didn't have a speaker here. Mine does, so I'm gonna swap that over. Not a big deal, but this shouldn't take long. But there is a lot of wiring, which most of the wiring actually stays on the metal frame of the dash, and that just gets moved over. So let's try to make this quick.
2,000 years later.
Alright, next day here, and I got the dash pretty much all installed last night, but I did have to pause because I couldn't find the steering column sensor anywhere, and I didn't want to put the steering column back in without replacing the sensor, because then it would have to come apart again. But I got it pretty much vacuumed in here, looking decent. I've got the driver wheel airbag installed, plugged in. I did realize I'm missing 2 buttons on the steering wheel, so I'll see if I can order those. If not, I might end up buying a new wheel at some point. Here's the steering column sensor, which we'll be replacing here shortly. This is the shifter that came from eBay. I ordered it, and that's another reason why I couldn't keep assembling. It's because this thing needs to be replaced. This one isn't a little bit worse shape than mine, but I'll be reusing my original knob, and actually we'll be reusing this from the original shifter as well. Now, to get to this bottom bolt right here, I'm gonna have to lift the car up and get underneath it, and hopefully there's a easy access to the bolt. Looks like they just broke it off when they removed it, but I can't do that because we actually have to make things work. Also got the fans in today. They were like 3 days late, but it is holiday season, so everything's a little bit delayed. So the fan can go back in, and I believe the coolant reservoir is coming today as well. I will be needing a whole glove box assembly because it is part of the airbag system. So to clear up the lights at the end of the day, I will need to replace the whole glove box, which, as you could tell earlier, ours was completely exploded. And today I actually ended up shipping off the module and both front seat belts to L&D Solutions. I did not know they have a location now in South Carolina, which is probably a couple hours away from here, so I should get those back pretty quick. Tomorrow is Christmas, but I'm sure I'll get them in within a few days. That way I can assemble the back seat and all of that. So once the seat belts are back with the module, I'll be able to complete the interior, and then we can move on and possibly order a new windshield. I probably should have replaced this before I replaced the dash, because some of the glass is gonna keep falling in and stuff. Maybe I'll put some tape over it or something like that, but kind of annoying because then you have to keep vacuuming and it could possibly scratch the new dash. So that wasn't a smart move. I should have replaced the glass right away. She blown. Still don't get the purpose of this sensor, because I mean the wreck wasn't bad to blow every single airbag component in the car. So I'm pretty much done on the inside as far as I can take it, because I am still missing parts like the seat belts and the module. That's why I left the center console out, and I'm gonna keep the seats out. There's no point installing them and then taking them back out. The shifter that I got from eBay worked out great. It's actually in way better shape than I thought. The other one someone completely destroyed. They ripped the leather and everything like that. So this is a nice unit. It's already bolted down and connected from underneath. That wasn't too bad to get to. While I was playing with the shifter on the inside, Amazon actually delivered the new expansion tank, which I don't really like it because it looks like it's from Temu, but it's gonna have to work for right now because it's all I got. But then also I realized I'm dripping some coolant, and turns out this hose right here, the upper radiator hose, is actually cut. So what I want to do is possibly remove it, trim it, and see if it's long enough. And if it's not, I'm gonna have to order a new one. But that's not the only thing I need. I actually need the driver's side intercooler pipe as well, because it's completely torn apart. Coolant's filled up. I actually had to extend this hose a little bit because it was cut right here. Remove it, cut it a little bit, and then it became too short, so I extended it temporarily, of course, and had to use some weird clamps. Right now I'm gonna start this car, idle it, and make sure it gets up to full temp before we continue to build.
"911 assist is not operational. Please visit your dealer for service."
Okay. Well, she's running good. The coolant is at the max. There's no leaks. I'll have to replace this hose eventually, but I just wanted to get the coolant flowing. I wanted to get this thing to full temp, and obviously the intercooler is still out, so it sounds a little bit loud, but I just wanted to get the coolant flowing, and she's up to full temp. The heat's blowing hot. Let's go. I got the seat belts and the module, the airbag module, back from L&D Solutions. It was such a quick turnaround time. It was about 2 days there and back, which is amazing. So they rebuilt both seat belts, front driver and passenger, and the module, which is good. This intercooler hose here completely ripped where it goes on the throttle body, so I got a brand new OEM hose right here. This is the original hose for the other side, which is the passenger. Seems to be okay. For right now I'm going to be running the stock intercooler until I get the Whipple upgrade. Also got a OEM airbox and just a drop-in K&N filter. Also got a new coolant hose, OEM. Gotta put that in. Sucks I gotta drain the coolant, but it is what it is. I know it's not leaking anywhere. This hose just looks ugly because I spliced it, so this is gonna be a brand new hose. As of right now, I have everything for the underhood to be complete. I can even put the wiper cowl and wipers back on, because as you can see, I got a new windshield installed today. Hit up Sprouse Auto Glass if you're in this area of North Carolina, Asheville area. Best deals, best service, quickest installs. Also, we can go inside here and go ahead and assemble the center console since we got the airbag module. This is partially why all of this was disassembled, just so I can put the module in, put the center console in, and also put the seat belts in and assemble the interior. So as of right now, everything is here, including the glove box. So here I have a complete assembly on the glove box, and it does say SRS, and it is clean, so that can be installed as well. So interior is about to be complete. That's what I'm gonna focus on now, because when I move this car back and forth, it has no seat. It's kind of annoying. I don't want to slip my foot off the brake and just total this thing again. So let's not do that. Remember, anytime you work on the airbag system or any electronics on the car, always disconnect the battery. Better be safe than sorry, because you can blow some airbags, and one, it'll hurt you probably. Two, you're gonna have to buy airbags again. So disconnect it. Always remember to tighten the module back down because it is grounded, and also don't forget to plug it in. Very important step. Just like that. And now we can put the center console back in. She's off to the paint shop to get some fresh paint. Couple of days and she'll be good as new.